Hi, Gary Stearman. Thanks for joining us today. We've got a lot to talk about, and this is a very, very special day. Just a couple days ago, we celebrated our first anniversary right here at Prophecy Watchers, and Bob Ulrich is with me. And Bob and I are going to reminisce a little bit about the past year, and we also have some really exciting news upcoming. Right, Bob?
Well, that's probably an understatement when Gary says really exciting. This could be the biggest announcement to date in the history of the Prophecy Watchers. Mm-hmm. And you know what's funny is we've had a lot of these big announcements to date. The news just gets bigger and bigger. I kind of view this as just a tremendous year of blessing. The Lord has intervened on our behalf.
Time is a strange commodity. It just seems like yesterday that we started with our first program. In fact, it was makeshift at best. We had a very small camera in my living room and a couple of chairs, and we launched by faith. In fact, let's revisit our first broadcast and let you look at where we started, and we'll talk about where we have come since. Hi, Gary Stearman. It's good to be with you again. It's been a while. You know, I haven't retired. I haven't been resting. I've been making big plans. And, you know, it's an exciting time to be alive. Right alongside me, just like old times, Bob Ulrich. Hi, Bob.
Hello, Gary. Just like old times. It's good to have Gary back, isn't it? Who can forget the days of the neighbor with the weed whacker? And the UPS delivery man ringing the doorbell in the middle of one of our programs.
Oh, yeah.
And L.A. Marzulli saying, "Come in," from a distance. He just played right along with the program.
He did. Be able to do that. Hello.
Someone's knocking at the door.
Hello.
Speaking of strange commodities, we actually got a congratulations card in the mail from a woman by the name of Kay. And it says, "With sincere congratulations. If you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you can dream it, you can become it." And she just said, "Happy anniversary, Prophecy Watchers. Happy birthday, Bob." She even got my birthday in there. Thinking of you at this proud moment in your life and wishing you success always. So, Kay, very, very thoughtful of you. A little bit of a surprise. Everything's been a little bit of a surprise for us in the last year, though, hasn't it?
It has been, and we've experienced not just the blessing of the Lord, and by the way, through people just like you who have just appeared out of nowhere and said, "We'd like to help." I want to thank you so much for all that you've done, your prayers, for your financial support, just for your goodwill and all the great letters that you've sent. I try to answer letters, Bob. I can't answer them all, but I answer a lot of them.
Yeah, we're falling behind here a little bit. We're a little bit overwhelmed with the response that we've had. What we've done in the last year can only be attributed to the Lord. It's not normal. It's definitely not expected. We did not, in any way, shape, or form, think we would be where we are today. And what we've accomplished in the last year, looking back, is truly extraordinary. We're going to get into our big announcement here, but I just made just a really brief list to run through of where we've come from a year ago. We started off with nothing. When I say nothing, I mean nothing.
Right.
A small investment you and I made on our own with our own funds to get started. We offered your free Time Travelers of the Bible book for a gift of any amount, and we were overwhelmed with thousands of donations. Mm-hmm. Thousands of people came to help us to get started. We've acquired a building. We built a television studio. We have a website. We have an online bookstore with over 500 products in it. We launched a Roku channel. Now, who would ever expect Roku would be what it is? Do you know that we have over 10,000 subscribers now, and almost 600,000 people have viewed our videos just on Roku? We launched a magazine. In fact, if you haven't seen it yet, here's the inaugural issue of the Prophecy Watcher. $19.95 a year for 12 issues, and we have now extended the deadline for the Charter Lifetime Magazine subscription. $100 one-time tax-deductible donation to the Prophecy Watchers gets you this magazine for the rest of your life or until the rapture, whichever one comes first. And on October 13th, we actually start online registration for the first Rocky Mountain International Prophecy Conference in Colorado Springs at the Marriott Hotel. So on the morning of October 13th, you're going to want to get to prophecywatchers.com. You're going to want to register for this conference. We expect it to sell out very, very quickly. Last but not least, join us in Jerusalem. Many of you, thousands of you, in fact, have contributed for this travelogue of our trip to Jerusalem last March. Just got word this morning that the final changes and edits have been made. We will have a finished DVD by the end of the week, ready to send off to the duplicator in Texas, and probably be another couple weeks after that for us to get those duplicated and back. So I promise you, you're going to enjoy it. We've had to take literally hours and hours, tens of thousands of video clips, pictures. It's been a complicated task, far more than we expected. But within the next couple weeks, we expect to have these products in hand.
And the efforts, the initial efforts of myself, my wife, Bob, his wife, have now been joined with others who have come to help us right here at Prophecy Watchers. We've got some new employees. They're at work even as we speak. We have a policy here, and I've got to congratulate Bob and Chris. They've done a phenomenal job. Our policy is that when you order it, you get it. You don't have to wait a long time. Tell us about that, Bob.
Out the door in 24. I owe that saying to my friend Eric Wemmer. He kind of coined that phrase, and along with Prophecy Watchers Prime. So we're competing with Amazon.com, trying to get you materials quickly. When you order, within 24 hours, 98, 99% of the time, that product is out the door on its way to you. Now, I got to tell you a funny story.
Okay.
2 years ago, I'm coming back from the Denver airport with Bill and Claudia Koenig in the back seat of my car, when all of a sudden we looked up on our way back to Colorado Springs, and there was the most magnificent double rainbow in the sky, unlike anything I had ever seen. It literally looked like something that came straight out of heaven.
Wow.
Well, we saw it, and all of a sudden, Claudia Koenig in the back seat of the car starts shouting, "Double blessing, double blessing." And I'm thinking to myself, what is a double blessing? I've heard of double portion,
Right.
but the word double blessing, I'm not sure is even in the Bible, but that stuck with me. Well, you know what? The last year has been a year of double blessings for us, and I started to actually catalog some of these. Things have gotten so haywire around here. When I say that things are a little bit out of control, it's not that they're out of control, but we're all taxed to the maximum.
We
The
are.
bookstore is exploding. The people joining and finding us is just completely off the charts. I got so desperate 2 weeks ago for help from my poor wife and the other 3 or 4 people we have here. We can't answer the phones. We can't pick up all the voicemails. We can't ship all the orders as fast as we want to because there's too many of them and we need help. Well, here's how desperate I got. I put an ad up on Facebook.
Okay.
And I asked the Lord for one person. Just give me one person to help answer the phones. Well, we got 2 resumes from 2 people who live here in Oklahoma City, both with telephone experience, customer service experience. One worked for a law firm for 12 years as the head receptionist. They're both Christians, and they both love prophecy, and they know about our ministry. So what's a man to do? We hired both of them because the truth is we desperately needed both of them to handle the workload. We're in the middle of expanding our garage. We've turned our garage into a new shipping
Not a
headquarters.
garage anymore. It's a mail room. It's a shipping headquarters.
And it even has heat and air.
It does.
So we've done a complete conversion of a 2-car garage and turned it into the place where all the action happens. So I asked for one, I got 2. Double blessing.
Absolutely.
Now we've got another double blessing that I want you to make the big announcement because this is really about you. How this all came about is just the product of people recognizing you, your ministry for many, many years on television. I got an email one day from a gentleman, and if I mentioned his name, literally everyone watching the program today would know who it was. But someone who's intervened on our behalf supernaturally to take us someplace that we never, ever thought we'd be able to go. In 1 year, to go where we're about to go is unbelievable.
And Bob, here it is. For the longest time now, we have prayed about expanding Prophecy Watchers to full-scale Christian television broadcasting. The hurdles are many. They are technical in nature. They are financial in nature. They involve scheduling. They involve personnel, and they involve having the right kind of budget necessary to do these things. But also, doors have to open at the right time. because quite frankly, there's a lot of competition for television time. Well, Bob, the doors have opened, and you talked about double blessing a minute ago. This is a double blessing for us because certain people in certain places whose names we can't mention right now have essentially rolled out the red carpet. They have opened doors for us, encouraging us that the Lord wants us to go ahead with full-scale Christian television broadcasting. Back to you.
You know, you said it well, the doors have opened. Most people don't realize that a lot of the television networks out there, and this will be an eye-opening shocker for some people, you can pay as much as $10,000 a week to broadcast your program on Christian television,
right.
Not network, Christian television. And obviously, that is a tremendous amount of money to spend, and yet a lot of people do spend it. We've gone on television on DirecTV, on the Dish Network, the Glory Star Satellite, Castalia, Ohio, Greenville, South Carolina, Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids, Michigan, Albuquerque. We're making inroads into television, but we now have a much bigger audience. And last Friday night around 8:30, I got an email, and the email told me that we have been approved to become programmers on the church channel.
What great news that is, Bob.
1 billion potential viewers all over the world. And sometimes you don't know what to say because it's an opportunity for us to take the message literally to the entire world. I'm talking Canada, Mexico, Australia, India, Europe. I mean, literally the whole world will now be watching our program.
And Bob, you said take the message. Here's the message. Systematic, well-organized, well-disciplined study. The study of Bible prophecy. Not wild-eyed speculation. Not watching certain things happening and saying, wow, this is going to happen here, this is going to... We don't do that, but we do prophetic Bible teaching based upon what the Bible has to say about the last days. And we do it in a responsible manner, and we have been driven, I think is the right word, to expand this message. It needs to be heard right now, Bob.
Well, you've given us a stable foundation. I mean, we're not dating the rapture. We're not telling you the tribulation's going to start in the next few days.
Right.
Comets falling from the skies. I mean, you see some of the stuff going on, and I kind of just view Gary as just a stable source of content and biblical truth, something people can rely on and count on. I know that people really trust you. Now, the church channel is just one of the announcements. We have a lot more really good news to share with you. In fact, the church channel comes with a double blessing. Surprise, surprise. During the conversations I began to have with the church channel, I discovered that, just quite shocking, and I can't even tell you how it all came to be, but they asked us if we'd be willing to air our program here in Oklahoma City on the local Trinity Broadcasting Channel 14 station. It was kind of like, you've got to be kidding me. Yeah, we would. How much does it cost? Well, it's not an insignificant amount of money, but to be on television locally here in town, I just view as just another double blessing.
Absolutely. It's something we hadn't even thought of, to tell you the truth. And that's not all. We have been working behind the scenes here at Prophecy Watchers with a plan in mind, because we started out in the living room a year ago. We moved now to the studio you're looking at with, let's call them startup cameras. We have the cameras we have are capable of HD, but just barely. And for us to go on a major network is going to require not just better HD equipment, but also better monitoring equipment, vector scopes and HD monitors, so that we can really fine-tune our product and put it out there for all to see. But Bob, we can see this door opening right now. And it's now, I think, very well ingrained in our thinking about how to move forward.
Well, with growth and opportunity comes expenses, and we're learning that. The cost of the church channel, of course, is significant. The studio cameras that we're using now are fine, and we're going to continue to use those, and those are going to serve a new purpose that you're going to hear about here briefly. But looking at what the Lord has provided already, Honestly, when I got the news last Friday night, I immediately started thinking, okay, now what? Now I know I'm going to need a high definition camera that can handle color changes, that's going to meet network standards. We don't have that right now.
Right.
And so Gary and I, talked over the weekend about the possibility, and we've talked about this before, kind of planning for this, of us acquiring new studio cameras for this studio, which would be much higher standards than we have now, specifically to meet the church channel requirements. Now, for the last year, you may have heard us talk about, we acquired a building that has 2, maybe even 3 television studios, and we kind of laughed about that when we moved in here. In fact, I don't know if I even filled you in on this, but I got an email last week while you were in Ohio from the individual we're buying this building from, and he offered us a $10,000 discount on the building, just out of the clear blue sky, if we would settle on the building early. And so I said, okay.
Why not?
And so we're settling on the building actually in 9 days. We will actually own this beautiful building that we're in. Thanks to you, thanks to the Lord's leading. I mean, so much generosity from so many people. So here I sit, and over to my left, there's another television studio there. And you and I have actually been working on this for the last several weeks.
Scenes, yeah.
Creating a second studio. Now, what do we need another studio for? We already have a studio.
Well, Bob, what we're wanting to do is something that I don't think I've ever seen done in Christian television before. What we're doing now is operating in a kind of a classic studio setting, and it's very comfortable. We can accommodate 3 people here at this table, or 4 if we had to, and it's a wonderful, workable setting. But there's another way to do television, and that is in an intimate setting where you really feel like you are in the room, right there, just a few feet away from myself and the guest and Bob, if he's there. You feel like you are a part of the whole operation, and we've wanted to create that kind of intimacy ever since day one. And now we're on the verge of being able to do it, and it's going to be fantastic.
Well, you know what? I'm a complete television amateur. I mean, you've been doing this for almost 30 years, and you know the ins and outs of how these things work. But the one thing I've noticed about television is you're always rushed. You have a guest here.
Yeah.
People don't always get to know the guest. For example, have you ever heard L.A. Marzulli's testimony? I mean, it's in the back of his book, The Cosmic Chess Match, which is an extraordinary book, but the testimony is just mind-blowing of what this guy was involved in before Christ called him home, to do what he's doing today and how he got there. But Brent Miller, there's another guy with just an utterly fascinating testimony. People were enamored with the programs we aired, on the book of Revelation.
And Bob, we want to bring guests to our audience, to you, in a new and special way, where you really get to know them as well as their message. And we want to give them a chance to kind of give you a notion of who they are, how they think, how they came to think and write what they are thinking and writing today. And I think this is a marvelous opportunity for us to do this. Being placed as we were in this setting has just unfolded all these possibilities.
And a lot of the programs we record never get aired. You can only air so many programs when you have a weekly program. We're not a daily program. We have interviews with people we've literally never shared before. There's just no place to squeeze them in. We started to conceptualize what we can actually use this second studio for. Someone here called it the green room, which I don't know if that'll be the final name for what we call it.
Well, right now it is the green room.
It's very green. It looks pretty good. We've got a new set of drapes in there, and we've been working on it. It's going to be a really nice, laid back, kind of let your hair down place where people can feel comfortable and just talk and chat, do little interviews. But we've also talked about doing Ask Gary interviews. The Ask Gary file gets hundreds of questions.
Yeah.
And we can only respond to 1 or 2 or 3 a month. And so we've actually thought about doing some video where I can maybe actually interview you with some of these questions, and people will actually get answers.
And we got a lot of questions. And by the way, that brings up a subject, Bob, that I really wanted to address today, and it involves our vision here at Prophecy Watchers. We believe the time is short. We're not naming dates, but we believe the time is very, very short. And for that reason, there is a certain haste, if you will. There's a certain drive to accomplish these goals as quickly as possible, to get the message out there. We believe that the teaching of Bible prophecy has two quickly discernible goals. Number one, it gives people a sense of the times, a sense of, if you will, urgency to spread the word of God, but it also spreads the gospel, because with the teaching of Bible prophecy, there is also the teaching of the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. And there are a lot of people out there who need to see it, to hear it, to experience it, and we want to be there with that message.
Absolutely. You know, we've got 3 cameras sitting here on studio today. They're going to move about 20 feet to the left here in the near foreseeable future. There'll be new high-definition cameras here. We've created a new studio fund on our website. If you feel led by the Lord to give to help us take that next level back to the church channel, back to really high-quality HD programming, and you're going to be amazed when you see the picture. Do you know the church channel has over 6 million subscribers on the AT&T UVerse network? So many people tell us that they have AT&T as their cable provider now. 6 million people are going to get to watch us on there. Which brings up the big question. New studio, new cameras, second studio. How are we going to pay for this?
Well, one gentleman has launched our efforts in a remarkable way. This gentleman has a vision for Bible prophecy teaching. He has helped us in the past, and he's helping us again, Bob.
You know what his favorite saying is? And he repeats it to me often. He says, Bob, don't worry about it. The Lord will provide. And for the last year, we've trusted the Lord to get to the point we are today. He's taking us to a whole new level now. And while there is some concern, I mean, finances have to be a concern. You can't be foolish with the responsibility and the funds that God provides through many, many thousands of generous people. But he has now committed to another $50,000 matching gift. He helped us build Studio One, which is now becoming Studio Two. And here we are, you know, poised with another matching gift from a man who obviously is committed to our ministry and the work we're doing here.
And we're talking about lights, HD equipment. We're talking about some nice furnishings. And we're talking about the ability to put out a first-rate program that, by the way, will be dedicated to premillennial, pre-tribulational, dispensational Bible teaching. I have to say that,
You
Bob.
took the words right out of my mouth. You know, we've gotten much farther in the last year than I think any of us ever expected. The growth, the expansion, the people welcoming us with open arms has just been such a joy. And we just do truly want to say thank you. The things happening today, they're from the Lord. We understand where they're coming from. He wants us more than us, we ourselves want this. He wants us to continue the work here, to grow this ministry. The church channel may be just the starting point. We don't know what he has in mind, but I have a feeling we haven't reached the end of the plans that he has for us quite yet.
Well, so far, during this first year, the message has been hang on tight, because I'm going to take you places you never thought you would go. And it's happened, Bob. It's been amazing. And I really believe that we can continue to operate in the same way. Our motto around here, every time we pass in the hall, is trust the Lord. I say it to Bob, he says it to me. We actually believe it.
Trust the Lord. The Lord will provide.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, there's a lot more we could say. We have probably gone on longer than we should have, but we're excited about what's happening here at Prophecy Watchers. Check our website, prophecywatchers.com, which is going to have a new tab, and that tab will take you to the studio plans that we have. I'm not sure exactly what the name of the tab's going to be yet, but it's going to be there, and when you push it, you're going to learn how you can help us to realize the goals that we've been talking about on today's broadcast. Anything else, Bob?
Well, that $50,000 matching gift will go a long way towards completing the studio. All we need now is just a little help from you to get the rest of the way there.
Indeed. I'm Gary Stearman. Thanks to you all for being with us, for sharing this first year at Prophecy Watchers. And hang on tight, because things are moving quickly. We're watching, so you keep watching too. Thanks for joining us on Prophecy Watchers. You can find us on the web at prophecywatchers.com, where you can sign up for our free email newsletter, or follow us at facebook.com/prophecywatchers. In the meantime, keep watching, everybody, and we'll see you soon.